What's up, guys, and welcome back to my reading journey. Hope you're all doing absolutely fantastic. And today, as usual, we're gonna continue with the book by Cicero on the ideal orator. It's gonna be the ninth part of the first book, so let's do this. Well, then, I remember being told that when the consul Philippus was ever more fiercely attacking the policy of our leading statesman, and when the power of Drusus in his tribunate, an office he had undertaken to support the Senate's authority, already seemed weakened to the point of collapse. Lucius Crassus retired during the Roman games to his villa at Tusculum, as if to reinvigorate himself. Quintus Mucius Scaevola, the father of his late wife, joined him there along with Marcus Antonius, who was an ally of Crassus in the political objectives, and they united to him in closest friendship. Crassus had also brought with him from Rome two young men, both very good friends of Drusus, in whom their elders had then placed high hopes for the preservation of their political standing. Gaius Cotta, who was at that time a candidate for the tribuneship of the plebs, and Publius Sulpicius, who was thought likely to stand for the same office in the following year. On the first day, they talked for a long time until sunset about the present crisis and the political situation in general, the actual reason they had assembled. And in this conversation, Cotta used to tell me these three former consuls discussed developments they found deplorable in such inspired fashion that no evil subsequently fell upon our community that they had not been hanging over it, even at that time. Once this whole conversation had been brought to an end, however, Crassus displayed such geniality that after they had taken their bath and reclined for dinner, all the gloom of the previous day's discussion was driven away. His pleasantness and conversational charm were such that while their day together had been spent in the atmosphere of the Senate House, their dinner seemed to be quite appropriate for a Tusculan villa. On the next day, Cotta reported, when the older members of the party had taken enough rest, they all gathered in the garden walk. Then, after they had completed 2 or 3 turns, Scaevola said, "Say, Crassus, why don't we follow the example of Socrates, as he appears in Plato's Phaedrus? For you plane trees here suggest this to me by spending its both to shade this place exactly like that other plane tree whose shade Socrates sought, which seemed to me to have grown not so much because of that little stream described there as owning to Plato's own words, and again, which seems to me to have grown not so much because of that little stream described there as owning to Plato's own words. But what Socrates did, despite his extremely tough feat, can more justifiably be considered to mine. He threw himself on the grass and there uttered the famous words that the philosophers say were spoken in inspired fashion." Right, guys, we've done with this part, and we're gonna continue as usual, but tomorrow the next one. So thank you, see you, and bye.